The telephone. Too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. Imagine relying on such a contraption when a carefully crafted letter, delivered with punctuality, serves the purpose so much more effectively.
Just 5 more minutes.
Fast forward to today, and we can't even go to the bathroom without our phones. Good call, Western Union. Or rather, missed call!
Television won't be able to hold on to any market it captures after the first 6 months.
Yeah, about that. Hey, Daryl, we now spend whole weekends glued to our screens. Clearly he didn't predict Netflix and chill.
Tell me, Mr. Henderson, does your client truly believe this automobile has a future?
Mr. Ford is quite confident, sir. He envisions a nation transformed by personal transportation.
A nation of horseless carriages? Preposterous. The horse is here to stay. A proven mode of transportation. Reliable, dependable. This automobile, it's a novelty, a fad. Mark my words, Mr. Henderson, it will never replace the noble steed.
Guess he didn't see rush hour coming.
Think this internet thing will last?
Nah, just a fad, like CB radios.
All right, people, let's get this to press. The internet won't change anything. Snappy, right?
Ironic, considering half the world read that article on the internet. In the 1920s, movie moguls believed talking movies would never catch on because silent films were pure cinema.
Talking pictures? Utter nonsense.
It's a passing fad. The artistry, the beauty of silent film. It's pure cinema.
The audience doesn't want to hear them talk. They want to see them emote. Imagine ruining the subtlety of Chaplin with words.
Exactly. Where's the imagination? The audience fills in the blanks. They become part of the story.
Besides, who wants to hear those screeching voices coming out of the screen?
Yeah, because everyone loves guessing the dialogue. In 1957, Dr. Richard van der Riet Woolley, the British Astronomer Royal, said space travel is utter bilge.
Utter bilge, I tell you. Utter bilge. A complete waste of resources.
But doctor, the Soviets...
The Soviets are welcome to throw their money into the abyss. Space travel is, and always will be, a physical impossibility. Mark my words, General.
That's one small step for a man. One giant leap for mankind.
Yep, and then 12 humans walked on the moon. Oops.
Radio. Preposterous. A scientific curiosity, perhaps, but with no practical application.
But, sir, the possibilities...
Possibilities. What possibilities? To transmit voices through the air? Utterly absurd. It's far too unreliable, too prone to interference. A mere novelty.
But imagine, sir, ships at sea communicating with the shore, or news being broadcast instantly.
Communicate? News? The telegraph serves us perfectly well. And as for ships, they have flags and lamps. Radio has no future, Faraday. Mark my words. It's a fool's errand.
Yeah, tell that to every commuter stuck in traffic.
And that was Taylor Swift. Next up, we've got Dua Lipa, followed by your midday traffic report.
In 1903, the New York Times declared, "A flying machine heavier than air is impossible." Yeah, because flying across the globe in 14 hours isn't a thing. In 1966, Time magazine confidently stated, "Remote shopping, while feasible, will flop."
All right, people, let's talk about this remote shopping fad. Some retailers think people will buy products from their homes, sight unseen.
It sounds impractical, sir. People like to see what they're buying, touch it, try it on.
Exactly. What about the social aspect? Shopping is an experience. Women enjoy browsing, meeting friends for lunch.
What about theft? How can you control shoplifting if there is no shop?
What about returns? Can you imagine the logistical nightmare?
Precisely. Mark my words, this remote shopping, while feasible, will flop. It's a novelty, nothing more. We need to make that clear in our next issue.
Yeah, about that. Tell that to our online cart addiction.
Okay, just one more thing. I need this avocado slicer. And maybe a new yoga mat. Ooh, and a weighted blanket. It's just so easy.
And so, gentlemen, I must reiterate. While the theoretical possibilities are intriguing, there is not the slightest indication that nuclear energy will ever be obtainable. The forces involved are simply too great to harness.
Professor Einstein, with all due respect, are you not limiting yourself with conventional thinking? Surely, with continued research.
Dr. Stern, I admire your optimism, but we must be grounded in reality. The energy required to split the atom, it is simply beyond our reach. It is a fascinating intellectual exercise, nothing more.
But what about the potential benefits? A clean, limitless source of power.
A pipe dream, my friend. A beautiful, impossible pipe dream. Let us focus our energies on more practical pursuits.
Not obtainable, huh? Tell that to the 10% of the world powered by nuclear energy.
Gentlemen, I want to be perfectly clear on this. We are in the business of building serious machines for serious applications. Businesses, universities, government, these are our clients. Now, I've heard some talk, some murmurs about personal computing. The idea that people would want a computer in their homes. There is no reason at all, anyone would want a computer in their home. What would they do with it? Balance their checkbook? Play games? It's absurd. We will not waste our time, our resources on such a frivolous endeavor. Is that understood?
Right. And now we have them in our pockets, on our wrists, and even in our refrigerators. Good call, Ken. No reason?
Electric cars? A dead end. A fool's errand. We're talking about range anxiety, charging times. The American consumer wants horsepower, not golf carts. Mark my words, gentlemen. Electric cars will never be more than a niche market.
Dead end. More like the fast lane.
$500? Are you kidding me? A phone with no keyboard? There's no chance at all. The iPhone is going to get any significant market share. None. People want a real keyboard.
No big deal, Steve.
I've been waiting for this for months.
No market share, just a $1 trillion empire. In 2005, Rupert Murdoch said, social media will never replace real social interaction.
This, social media, it's a fad. People crave real interaction. Newspapers, television, that's where the future lies. Mark my words, this internet nonsense will never replace the human touch.
Well, he wasn't completely wrong. It just replaced eye contact. Real interaction.
Netflix? Redbox. Fleeting fads. People crave the experience. The smell of the popcorn, the feel of the tape in their hands. These gadgets, they're not even on our radar.
Not on the radar? More like off the grid.
Virtual reality, a gimmick, a passing fancy. It'll never catch on.
People want reality, not some simulated experience.
Just a gimmick? Tell that to the billion-dollar VR industry.
And as you can see, gentlemen, it captures images electronically, storing them on...
Look at pictures on a screen. What is this, Star Trek?
People want prints, the feel of them, the memories you can hold.
This digital nonsense, it'll never replace film.
Yeah, about that. I bet they wish they could delete that prediction. Screens? No, we only look at pictures all day.
The AI problem is pretty much solved. We've cracked the code, gentlemen. It's only a matter of time before machines think just like us. Alexa, play Despacito. Playing the Macarena by Los Del Rio. No, Despacito. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Here's a recipe for lentil soup.
Yeah, except for all the things they still can't do. And all the jobs they're taking. Solved?
Bitcoin, the currency of the future? More like the currency of Fool Tour.
Well, someone should check their wallet. A joke? Yeah, the kind that made millionaires. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hilarious historical blunders.
3D printing? A novelty. A toy for hobbyists. It will never be practical.
Yeah, just a novelty. That's literally building the future. A novelty? Tell that to the guy living in a 3D printed house.
So, you're saying this is the future?
Undoubtedly. Accurate time, right on your wrist. What more could you want?
But it only tells time. My Rolex also looks good.
Fads, aesthetics. This is about function. The New York Times agrees.
Hold on, gotta check this. Oh, it's just my mom. Yeah, I'm fine, Mom. Just grabbing coffee. Love you too. Let me see that thing. So it's a phone, a fitness tracker, and a personal assistant all in one? Why would anyone need all that? Exactly. It does too much. It's overwhelming. I can't live without it.
Right. Because who would want to do everything from their wrist? Too much? Only if billions in sales pass by.
Well, folks, Time magazine is reporting that video games are nothing more than a passing fad, a flash in the pan. They say it'll never last.
Yeah, a passing fad that's paying kids millions to play Fortnite. Never last? Gibberish? If by gibberish you mean billions in revenue. Yeah. And Jeff Bezos just delivered that news to his $200 billion bank account. A passing fad only if billions in sales pass by.
Smartwatches? They'll never replace traditional watches. They do too much.
Right. Because who would want to do everything from their wrist? Too much? Says the watch that can call you an Uber.
Cloud computing? Complete gibberish. It will never amount to anything.
Yeah, and now our lives literally depend on it. Gibberish? Only if by gibberish you mean billions in revenue.
Time magazine claims video games are just a passing fad that will never last.
Yeah, a passing fad that's paying kids millions to play Fortnite. Never last? Tell that to the guy who just won $3 million in esports.
Mobile apps? A novelty, pure and simple. They'll never replace traditional software. Who needs a tiny program for everything?
Exactly. It's just a fad. People will get tired of them.
An app to find the nearest coffee shop. An app to order ahead. An app to pay. Remember when you just, walked in and ordered? Those were the days. Now there's an app for everything.
Yeah, except now we have an app for everything, even for making apps. A novelty, more like a necessity.
An app to find the nearest coffee shop. An app to order ahead. An app to pay. It's insane. I know, right? Remember when you just, walked in and ordered? Spoke to a person? Those were the days. Now there's an app for everything. There's probably an app to tell you how much to tip. Don't give them any ideas. Seriously, though. I just saw an ad for an app that delivers other apps. An app store inside your app store. That's a joke, right? I wish. I'm telling you, I saw it. An app. To get other apps. No reason? Sorry, just thinking out loud. No reason for computers in our homes? Except, the internet, streaming, shopping. Oh, and work. Right. I'm starting to think those tech experts were right. What? How can you say that? I don't know. Maybe we've gone too far. Maybe we should all just throw our phones in the river. Whoa there, Thoreau. Let's not get carried away. But I do get your point. Sometimes I miss the days when things were simpler. Simpler? Yes. And quieter. So, what do you say? Want to ditch the apps and just talk? I'd like that very much. So, talking. Like it's 1999. No e-commerce. Exactly. No Fortune magazine telling us it's a passing fad. Just actual human interaction. Imagine. No Amazon distribution centers, no robots packing boxes. Just, people. Buying things in stores. I wonder what Jeff Bezos thinks about all that now? Delivering the news to his $200 billion bank account. A passing fad, huh? Only if billions in sales pass you by. Oh man, that's too good. I know, right? Remember those smartwatches that only told time? Oh God, yes. The New York Times said they'd never replace traditional watches because they did too much. Right. Because who would want to do everything from their wrist? Too much? Says the watch that can call you an Uber. Exactly. It's insane. What was that Oracle CEO saying? Something about cloud computing being gibberish? Larry Ellison. Yeah. He said it was complete gibberish and would never amount to anything. And now our lives literally depend on it. Netflix, Google Drive, Zoom, all of it. Gibberish. Only if by gibberish you mean billions in revenue. It's the same with video games. Remember when Time magazine said they were just a passing fad? Oh yeah, a passing fad that's paying kids millions to play Fortnite. Never last? Tell that to the guy who just won $3 million in esports. And mobile apps. Remember when tech experts said they were a novelty? Oh God, yes. That they would never replace traditional software. And now we have an app for everything, even for making apps. A novelty? More like a necessity. Oh, this is gold. It really is. It's like we think we know everything, but we're just as clueless as they were back then. Totally. I wonder what people will be laughing at us for in like 50 years. Probably our obsession with, I don't know, avocado toast? Or maybe our belief that we can solve everything with an app. True. Or that we thought we could predict the future of technology. Well, if you enjoyed laughing at our epic misfires, give us a thumbs up, share the laughs, and hit that subscribe button. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll make a documentary about how wrong we were about today's tech.